It feels good to not only say that I'm caught up with something, which as many of you know, that is a rare statement from me. I'm more so in the I'm tardy not entirely by choice camp. Or I've long exercised this point I'd say it's like religious phrasing, I'm in a catch-up phase. Anywho, I'm no longer. We're nearing that, to be fair. But it feels good to materialize, alongside being caught up, the fulfillment of a promise that I made to you all a long time ago, especially concerning music coverage, and that was a Frozen Crown. I plan to spotlight their work. Maybe some of you are approaching this group on a first-name basis. Think Italian power metal. And for those of you who are aware of how much I love the European metal scene, right, you can already imagine, I'm sure, my reference if you haven't, in attribution, if you haven't heard my comments on Frozen Crown before. And at present, I've spotlighted 12 of their works in total. Going on the 13th, to the 16th, and really the final conclusion for now. As far as I'm concerned, the door will always be open. But with Frozen Crown, we've reached the pinnacle of where everybody else is. All you longtime Frozen Crown fans are sitting in the midst of the 4th album, which has just been unveiled very recently. In fact, it was released, I believe. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Call of the North. I like the name, by the way. It really plays in that wintry vibe that Frozen Crown stresses, but I'm excited to hear more. And again, if you're not familiarized with Frozen Crown, take it from me as somebody who's entertained about 12 of their works on this channel and taken, in fact, those interactions with you for the first time. Italian power metal. I think you're going to really come to admire the talent of this band. Not just, again, especially if you're a metalhead, but on the artistry alone, I've been very impressed with everybody here in terms of the lineup and what they've produced in terms of musical scores on part of the vocal talents of Giada, who I've long loved ever since I first heard her on Volturian, that collaboration for In a Heartbeat with Federica Lana on the vocal side. And some of you might not be aware of Volturian as a name. I always attribute them, and I highly recommend their music. I engaged with 8 of their works on this channel from some of their offerings. Really good Italian modern metal, in fact. The Italian landscape, I guess, is a very strong suit for European talents, even more specifically. But I've been very impressed. You know, even just beyond the vocal side, the storylines of their stories, the fantasy imagery, the grand presentations, the atmosphere, the riff structures, the faster paces, and maybe a mixture in some respect. And the last album, Winterbane, had a lot of dynamic traits to it, rather subtle in some regards, and some new elements that they were trying out that I'm really curious to see what their evolved vision is like, especially with the new lineup that came on with Winterbane in terms of 3 of their members. I'm really interested to hear of a sophomore project for at least some of them, and for Federico Mondelli and Giada, their 4th entry. I'm interested to see how the vision materializes here with their work and hear more pieces from their excellence in music artistry, which many of you know, as I've said many times, music is my preferred art form for consumption. It's very much a first love in my life. It's been for many years a point of connection. And I love taking the journey with you in regards to exploring new talents, perhaps. Not to all of you. Like I said, I know that Frozen Crown has a substantial fan base, and as I've said many times, and I'll never stop saying it, they absolutely deserve every fan they have, and I'm honored to call myself one of their devotees. But rather, again, young in his days in comparison to a number of you, because it's only been a couple of months that I've been a fan, but I am over the moon in terms of my excitement with listening to more of their pieces, especially with you. Music's always fun, at least I found in my life and in the course of this channel, as a shared experience. And many of you know it's been my ambition to bring it to a grander presence here, and over 2023 it's succeeding quite well. And it will certainly be evolving into the future. But I'm really happy to perhaps engage with, again, a group for those of you, or some of you might be approaching this again, long-standing fans, I said, some of you might be unfamiliar with their name. I think you're going to be in for a wild ride of fun if you are into Italian power metal or just good music in general. Maybe you're not necessarily metalhead by choice. New music is very subjectively preferential, right? It's understood. But I think if you appreciate quality of art and excellence and ambition, I think you're going to really like Frozen Crown. Just take it from me. Again, 12 pieces in, going on the 13th through the 16th, with and all in separate videos with Call of the North. In fact, we're starting with the title track. Again, I like the name, really plays in that winter vibe. Let's engage with the piece together for the first time and share in that experience. I'm so happy. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the video. We can get a perspective for it ourselves together alongside the song. And if you're not familiar with how I format my coverage on this channel, perhaps my content is a first introduction for you. I do try and make it, as best I can of an effort and priority to present completed works, and so to appeal to all audience tastes. And if you're somebody that likes to read along with the narrative of the pieces, which Frozen Crown has some pretty exquisite stories, at least from my opinion, you're going to be getting the lyrics as well in the video feed. You'll see them pop up in a second, and they will transition along with the song as we go through it together. Without further ado, though, let's let's cue up the song and get an introduction for it for ourselves. On the 4th album, again, present day, I'm finally with all of you. At least, well, I'm getting there. 3 more tracks to get sold, and then I'm fully caught up, at least for now. And it's been a real joy to entertain Frozen Crown. I can't wait to add more on. I'm so happy with them. And I've had a real fun night at catching up with Winterbane and now this new entry. Real presence on that introduction. And good background vocals. A bit royal in my opinion, I like it. And beautiful scenery shots. Great establishment team. This is the longest one we've had thus far in terms of Frozen Crown, at over 6 minutes. Plenty of fun time to spend. Great stepping pattern. That was a wonderful illustration at the beginning. That song's origin is great. And you've never entertained Giada before. I mean, as I said, exquisite vocalist on her range. And this is just another beautiful testament. I don't know if I've heard her go that high before, and it's beautiful. I just keep ascending. Oh man. This path is excellent. 4th collection in, we're doing really well. Oh man. It just gets better and better with this group. That's a really good line. I love the writing there. I love it. Okay, no softer interlude, they just jump right into it, okay. Very much like, nearly the half of the verse chorus, without that transition. Good shift. Bit unexpected. Again, add some dimension. Ah, that rise, I love it. And I always love seeing the quality of their videos too. Again, these are shot exquisitely. We still have over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a long time to enjoy. I'm loving every minute of it. Really feels like we're going out a bit again in terms of the song's personality, especially on this lighter strum. There we go. That duality is wonderful. I love the blend. Again, the strums are so dominant. You give it a real nice ancient flair. It's a much softer guitar solo than they've done in the past. I like it though. Again, different personalities. Here we go. Swinging back in. Love it. Such a natural swing in. Love it. Perfect in my opinion. This piece is just so enamoring. And as I always say, like every new track, my favorite off the new album. Key change? Maybe. I think it is. I kind of forget just that I was so transfixed in the first one, and it's close enough and it mimics it. Yeah, it is. Beautiful finish. And that's the first debut track. That is the first on the lineup, followed by, all the tracks we're going to be consulting off of Call of the North, in fact, follow a successive pattern, right? They're all connected. Whereas some of the other tracks we've consulted, and I think actually this has been the case with all three of the previous albums, they've been split, right? So you have one track here, one track there, like 1, 3, 6, and 7, for example, like with Winterband, that's what we covered. And this one, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the interlude track. This is what introduces you to the scope of the first album. And as a title work, that is exquisite. Again, that's the longest piece I think we've had thus far, Frozen Crown. More to enjoy in time with them. And I think it's the longest thus far, at least off the album, of what I've engaged with. Certainly I've got lined up in regards to coverage, because all the rest of the songs sit at a 4 to 5, a little over 5 minute window. That one is beautiful, though. I mean, the presence and the dimension on that piece, the personality, like, as I was saying, I felt like I was taking a bit of like an ancient fantasy route in the storytelling, blended with the music tones. It was just wonderful to humor, like the electronic side in terms of, again, some of those riff structures, as always with Frozen Crown, is exquisite. With the break in the middle of the guitar solo and the strums, especially on that mountainside, what a beautiful picture, by the way. Again, their visualizers are always so much fun and add a beautiful component to the pieces, and they're just mesmeric. This one especially, like the geography of wherever this is just beautiful. I want to visit there. I'm in love with this group. I've been for, ever since I started my journey, just a couple months ago. And fourth album in, I'm having a great time. And that piece just offered so much in atmosphere. I'm still over the moon with it. And Giada's vocals, exquisite. Whether it be on that key change, this is much higher pitch from what I'm familiar with from her. And I've heard her sing at a higher incline. Like, for example, as I said in the beginning when I came across Giada with Fulterian for the In a Heartbeat collab. Her vocals had a good range there too, although it was mixed with Federica Lana, so kind of, again, there was an overlap. From what I remember, she was the one that went high too. Federica did as well, so maybe it's harder to notice there. This one, she can climb with her voice, and I've said, Giada is a captivating talent. I do have a thing, admittedly, for European women, as I've said many times. It's, again, the accents that are just so attractive, especially in the rock landscape, and Giada is truly a ruling queen in her vocal presence. I love listening to her, and Call of the North, again, like I said, is just another fabulous testament. And a fun event, quite frankly, as most of the music on this channel happens to be. Again, as I've said many times, there's not a piece on this channel that I've consulted that I have not loved. And with Frozen Crown, it's been unanimous in every piece. I've been just taken away by it. And Call of the North, wonderful personality, and again, the varied structures, okay, those riffs are just wonderful, and the breaks so well placed, but conclusion, quick, successive, anticipated by, again, that faster percussion pattern, wonderful. Everything here clicks. Triumphant work. Loved it. Every minute of it, every second, I immediately want to go back and re-listen. Now, of course, that'll be after I listen to the good selection of tracks I picked up 4 in total with you off of I keep wanting to say Call of the Wild. Call of the North. Anyway. Oh, man. I know. It's easy probably to mix it up. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below if you wish to disclose your perspective and your angle. Are you coming at this from the perspective of a familiarized and long-standing Frozen Crown fan, or perhaps a newbie listener? I imagine if you're a newbie listener, I'm going to take a risk, and I don't mean to speak for anybody, but I would imagine you probably like this piece. But I'd love to hear for specifics and an exact declaration, if that is in fact an affirmation from you. I'd love to hear about it down below if you do wish to supply that perspective. I thought, as I said, the song is exquisite and easily sets up another very advantageous listen of an album. Next is Fire in the Sky. I know I'm looking at these pieces, by the way, in a mixed up order from when the videos debuted, so I apologize for that, but because the album is out, I believe, right now, I'm now approaching the most recent album, it just made sense. So, Fire in the Sky, that's next. I can't wait to hear it, because Call of the North was an excellent lead, and everything I like about Frozen Crown, amplified with that atmosphere, that range, and the vocal variety on part of Giada's voice, just exquisite. Real captivation there. Everything about it, tight, clicks, gels immediately. Very sufficient tune, in my opinion. One of their best. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.